Rumors are floating around that AEW could be set for a $1 billion new television deal with Warner Bros. Discovery. Details on the rumor and details of how realistic this even is. Plus, Jungle Boy Jack Perry shoots on possibly working with CM Punk in the future in All Elite Wrestling. Kenny Omega says time is running out on his professional wrestling career. Trinity Fatu an update on her Impact Wrestling schedule. Nick Aldis is set for his first match inside of an Impact Wrestling ring singles match on Impact Wrestling television in 6 years. Ricky Steamboat reveals he turned down a role in All Elite Wrestling. Adam Cole opens up on Roderick Strong joining AEW 2. Sammy Guevara, his vlog is on hiatus as he focuses on the main event of Double or Nothing. The firm deletion, the director's cut, has been uploaded to YouTube, and several matches and segments have been announced for this week's Ring of Honor on Honor Club. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about a salacious rumor going around about AEW's possible television deal extension and upgrade with Warner Bros. Discovery. Now, there's been a lot of talk about potential television deals in pro wrestling in the business recently, particularly with WWE being sold to Endeavor, the upcoming merger with the UFC, Vince McMahon returning to facilitate and help negotiate their television rights negotiations, in part, as I mentioned, to oversee these negotiations with networks vying for the promotion's television rights. It seems as well, of course, it's not just a big year for WWE when it comes to TV deals. Of course, AEW's deal is up for grabs this year too, and it may well be on the cusp of signing an almost unbelievable new contract. Now, AEW's first deal with Warner Bros. Discovery was signed in 2019. It reportedly ran for 4 years, but it was renegotiated. Initially, it was just an ad split whereby AEW would pay to put on the television program. However, due to the success of AEW Dynamite, it was renegotiated at the beginning of 2020. AEW was now being paid by Warner Bros. Discovery. In addition to that, shows like AEW Rampage and Battle of the Belts were brought to the network too. But given the deal coming up this year, it would need to be negotiated very soon. Rumors have started to swirl this week pertaining to just how big that deal is going to be, and if those rumors are true, AEW is about to land an absolutely mammoth television deal. Apparently, and again, take this with a pinch of salt, but apparently the promotion is about to put pen to paper on a 5-year deal worth $1 billion. If true, the new contract will run for 5 more years, and all AEW programming will be exclusive to WBD and its various networks. This will include AEW Dynamite, All Access, AEW Rampage, and the still unannounced new Saturday show AEW Collision, but it could also mean that WBD gets exclusive streaming rights to all future pay-per-views as well with the relaunch of the Max streaming service. Of course, we do know that this Collision TV show is going to be part of at least a renegotiated TV deal or be part of a brand new deal, which is set to be announced later on this month at the upcoming Warner Bros. Discovery upfronts. Now, if this deal is indeed about to be signed and made official, it would further explain why Dark and Dark Elevation have been scrapped. The 2 YouTube shows may well have been discussed as part of WBD's negotiations, but the corporation ultimately decided between all of the shows mentioned above, it would already have enough AEW programming across its networks and presumably available through its streaming service HBO Max, which soon is just became a Max rather. As I mentioned, that's being relaunched and rebranded. We know lots of shows have been announced for that, for instance, the Harry Potter television series, etc., etc. Now, obviously, take all of the above with a grain of salt for now, as not only has it not been confirmed by AEW or Warner Bros. Discovery, but the rumors appear to have just stemmed from the Wrestling Observer message board, which quite a lot of controversial stuff has recently. Do we need to talk about CM Punk's Instagram story, Dave Meltzer's comments about Punk, etc.? While shared by quite a few people on social media, the suggestion that AEW might be about to sign a $1 billion deal appears to have begun with Observer writer Ryan Frederick. And again, Ryan Frederick has said quite a few things recently that haven't turned out to be true. When it comes to the Observer, he's more focused on the MMA side of things, so why he would be involved in the wrestling side of things, it might just be speculation. A few fans have tried to shoot down the very idea of WBD paying that much for AEW content, but Frederick has done the math math, and he says it all adds up. So it could just be a thing of him guessing that this is how much it would be worth, not actual information that AEW is going to sign a $1 billion television deal with Warner Bros. Discovery. So as I mentioned, take this with a pinch of salt, maybe about this big, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think AEW is going to sign a television deal worth $1 billion with Warner Bros. Discovery? Again, the likelihood is that a new TV deal is likely signed or very close to being signed and will be announced later on this month at the Warner Bros. Discovery upfronts, when it is expected that the AEW Collision TV series is going to be announced. In addition to that, CM Punk's return likely will be announced at that event too. So is that when we get the announcement that AEW has signed a new TV deal with Warner Bros. Discovery? And do you think it could be worth $1 billion? And if that is the case, just what does that mean for AEW and pro wrestling moving forward? And how much does that mean that the WWE television deals will go for? Of course, SmackDown famously went to Fox in 2018, with it debuting in 2019 for a deal that was worth at the time $1 billion. So would this be about right? Let me know your thoughts and everything in the comment section below. Now, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, we know he's friends with the Elite, but he's spoken about possibly working with CM Punk in All Elite Wrestling. At the recent For Love of Wrestling convention, a top AEW star named two New Japan Pro Wrestling Dream opponents and commented on CM Punk. In a Q&A led by SoCal Val, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, along with Anna Jay and Ruby Soho, took questions from the audience. Asked who his dream opponent would be, Jungle Boy revealed, quote, "I think at some point, and I'm not ready right now, I'm not in the shape for it, but I think Will Ospreay for me." He would later find himself answering a question about a Forbidden Door opponent, responding, quote, "I think for Forbidden Door, it's probably not going to be Will Ospreay. I think my second would be Hiromu Takahashi, I think." Jungle Boy Jack Perry would be less sure of his response to the possibility of a program of CM Punk, hesitating before committing with, quote, "We'd have to see. I don't know." Now, of course, Jungle Boy, as I mentioned, is very close to the Elite, and he has liked some tweets, negative tweets, it must be said, about CM Punk and his return to AEW previously. So would he be open to working with CM Punk? Well, he says we'll have to wait and see. Now, in addition to that, he's also spoken about who he would like to face at Wembley Stadium if he's part of the All-In event later on this year for AEW. Speaking with Monopoly Events, Perry noted he wants to wrestle a certain British star at Wembley Stadium. He said, quote, he'd like to face off against Pac. Quote, "I mean, the show's going to be insane. It's going to be by far the biggest thing we've done yet. It's so hard to pick a dream match because I feel like so much is always going on in AEW. It's so hard to imagine what it's going to look like by the time we get there. I guess just thinking of people from the UK and someone I haven't wrestled particularly is Pac. I think that would be cool anywhere, but maybe at Wembley, that'd be very cool. I was thinking about that, being booed in the matchup. I don't know. We'll see. I've never had it really, but we'll see." With Pac being from Newcastle in England, he would almost definitely be the fan favourite at the event, but would you like to see Jungle Boy versus Pac? You can let me know on that in the comment section below. Of course, tonight, another episode of AEW Dynamite on TBS. Kenny Omega will face off against Jon Moxley inside of a steel cage. And Omega has commented on his upcoming steel cage match, provided an update on his in-ring future. As I mentioned on tonight's edition of Dynamite, Omega will battle Jon Moxley inside of a steel cage. Speaking with Sports Illustrated, Omega vowed that this bout will be violent. Omega noted that every match he wrestles from now on will have a reason behind it because time is running thin on the Kenny Omega clock. Noting that he will attempt to make every match he has special and unique, Omega stated, quote, "Time is running thin on the Kenny Omega clock. I can guarantee anyone that sees me perform live that there is a reason for that performance, and I work to make everyone special. I wanted this one to be unique and very fun for people who tune in and people who are there live, and I know how competitive John is. This will be a grueling, physically demanding, and violent cage match." He also spoke about who he believes is the MVP of AEW, and it's none other than his opponent. As I mentioned, Jon Moxley had previously discussed his lengthy rivalry with the Elite's Kenny Omega, dating all the way back to the very first AEW show, ahead of their steel cage match tonight on Dynamite. As I mentioned, Omega spoke to Sports Illustrated and shared his own thoughts on Moxley. While Omega feels he is honored that he is labeled by some fans as the best wrestler in the world, the AEW star has a different idea who has been the standout performer in the upstart promotion. Quote, "If I'm being honest, the MVP of AEW hasn't been me," Omega said. "It's Jon Moxley. Omega explained that he hasn't quite lived up to his own expectations in AEW, from his loss at Double or Nothing in 2019 to the lengthy time he spent away from the ring due to accumulating injuries. Quote, "For AEW, John's been the one," Omega continued. "He's been at almost every show. He's bled at almost every show. There's no one higher on the blood giving list. Maybe that's what makes this feud so interesting. It's someone with the notoriety from Japan against someone who was a top player from WWE. The former AEW World Champion shared his excitement in knowing that now he is fully healed up, he can restart the song and dance between the two rivals." Omega even discussed the progression of the storyline between himself and Moxley after losing to Moxley in their 2019 Lights Out match. Omega had to take shortcuts to win. He then defeated Moxley at Winter is Coming 2020, becoming the new AEW World Champion, eventually leading to the infamous barbed wire death match, exploding barbed wire death match at Revolution 2021, with a lackluster finish that didn't exactly go to plan. However, it sounds as though Omega is intent on delivering this time around. As I mentioned, that'll be tonight on AEW Dynamite live on TBS. Let's talk a little bit Impact Wrestling. Trinity Fatu, or just Trinity, has revealed her schedule going forward with Impact Wrestling this summer. The popular star has been announced for the following dates: May 26th, London, Ontario at Under Siege; May 27, London, Ontario, Under Siege Fallout taping; June 9th, Columbus, Ohio, Against All Odds; June 10, Columbus, Ohio, Against All Odds Fallout taping; June 23rd, Atlanta, Georgia, Summer Sizzler taping; June 24, Atlanta, Georgia, Summer Sizzler taping; July 15, Windsor, Ontario for Slammiversary; July 16, Windsor, Ontario for the Slammiversary Fallout taping as well. So she's going to have a busy summer when it comes to the world of Impact Wrestling, and certainly is a huge addition to the Knockouts division. Nick Aldis will be competing in his first televised Impact Wrestling match in almost 6 years tonight. Impact Wrestling, or tomorrow night rather, Impact Wrestling announced that former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis will compete in his first match on Impact Wrestling television since 2017, facing Sheldon Dean on this Thursday's episode of Impact on Access TV. The last one for Aldis was a loss to EC3 in a three-way number one contenders match that also included James Storm. Aldis wrestled on 2 Impact Wrestling pay-per-views in 2022, competing at Impact Multiverse of Matches in a tag team match alongside his wife Mickie James, as well as at Slammiversary 2022, where he helped the Impact Originals defeat Honor No More in a 10-man tag team match. Aldis officially returned to the company at Rebellion in April, initially on commentary, but now certainly as an active in-ring competitor. Aldis returned to Impact Wrestling earlier this year after falling out with the National Wrestling Alliance and reportedly working for Impact without a contract for the time being, with Aldis and the promotion working on a verbal agreement. However, it's recently been reported that Aldis has actually signed a short-term agreement with Impact to feel things out with the company. Switching back to AEW, we could have seen more of a WWE Hall of Famer if he accepted an offer from the company. Wrestling legend Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was taking part in a virtual signing for Captain's Corner on Facebook when he made the revelation. Of the opportunity, Steamboat revealed, quote, "Believe this or not, I was already asked to come in on board with AEW in the capacity of a road agent. No reflection on them, great company and everything, and don't get me wrong, the pay was going to be great, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to get off the road." Steamboat has appeared on AEW programming previously, serving as a guest timekeeper on the August 17, 2022 edition of Dynamite. That particular episode was set around the promotion of the HBO series House of the Dragon. He wrestled his last match in November of last year for Big Time Wrestling, teaming with FTR to take on Nick Aldis, Jay Lethal, and Brock Anderson. So Ricky the Dragon Steamboat says he turned down a role in AEW. Now, one person that didn't turn down AEW was Roderick Strong. He made his AEW debut on April 26, with Tony Khan confirming that the former Undisputed Era member was now All Elite. It had been previously reported that it wasn't widely known that Strong had left WWE at the time of his debut. Cole recently addressed Strong's arrival on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, saying, quote, "Oh my God, I couldn't be more excited to have Roderick here in AEW. He's one of my best friends in the entire world. He's one of the best pound for pound in-ring pro wrestlers on the planet. To have Roddy Strong with us in AEW is not only a win for me, but it's a win for AEW." In March of this year, Dave Meltzer reported that Strong was under WWE, but simply wasn't being used. Strong had reportedly requested his release from the company multiple times, but his release was not granted due to his role in the Diamond Mine storyline. However, it was later reported that actually his contract expired in November last year, and just not many people knew. He took some time off to recover from some injuries, and now he's All Elite. Sammy Guevara, he's going to be in one of the main events of AEW Double or Nothing, competing for the AEW World Championship. It's been a big few months for Sammy Guevara, as the Jericho Appreciation Society member has leaped all the way up to the main event scene, working his way into the Four Pillars four-way match for the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing. Given the stakes of the match, as well as its likely main event position on the Double or Nothing card, it is likely the biggest match of Guevara's career to date. As such, the former TNT champion is looking to have all of his focus on the bout, which means taking a step back from one of his favourite things, his vlog, which Guevara confirmed on yesterday's episode. Quote, "I just want to thank everybody who got me to this point," Guevara said. "If you support these videos, if you supported me by getting my merch when I was on the indies, and I really needed the money, thank you. If you support the vlog now and you leave comments, you've shared the video, liked the video, and any way you support me, whether it be monetarily or just hitting a like on the video, it all goes a long way. And with that said, I want to make sure I give this match 100% of my focus, so we are going to be stopping the vlog for a couple of weeks." Long-time viewers should fear not, however, as Guevara declared that the vlog would return with episode 410 following Double or Nothing on May 28. Whether or not Guevara will be the champion remains to be seen. They will have a tough road taking on the rest of the Four Pillars, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Darby Allin, and Guevara's former best friend and current AEW World Champion MJF. So his vlog is going on hold for the time being. The firm deletion, people were still talking about the firm deletion from last Friday's episode of AEW Rampage. It was an AEW Rampage match that was cut short due to time contracts, but you can now watch the full director's cut of the firm deletion. In addition to the previous reports that the 21-minute version of the match would be available on Bleacher Report, AEW has made the match more accessible to a global audience. On May 9, AEW released the director's cut to YouTube, and it can be seen everywhere, so go and check it out on AEW's YouTube channel. The firm deletion featured Matt and Jeff Hardy, Hook and Isaiah Cassidy taking on Big Bill, Stokely Hathaway, Ethan Page, and Lee Moriarty. So you can check out the full 21-minute version on AEW's YouTube channel. Finally, tomorrow is another episode of Ring of Honor on Honor Club, and several matches, title matches and segments have been announced. This Thursday's episode of ROH on Honor Club is stacked to say the least. The official Twitter account of the promotion announced several matches on Tuesday night, including Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena defending her title against Sky Blue. Athena has been the Ring of Honor Women's Champion since defeating Mercedes Martinez last December at Final Battle. The other title match announced for the May 11 episode is Samoa Joe defending the Ring of Honor World Television Championship against New Japan Pro Wrestling strong star Blake Christian. Joe has held the ROH TV Championship for almost 400 days. He won the title in April of last year from New Japan Pro Wrestling star Minoru Suzuki. Joe's last title defense was against Christopher Daniels on the May 4th episode of ROH on Honor Club. The Dark Order's Evil Uno, John Silver, Stu Grayson, and Alex Reynolds are set to face Josh Woods, and the Trustbusters, Jeeves K, Slim J, and Sonny Kiss, while the Embassy's Brian Cage, Korn, and Toa Leona will be in action against Adam Priest, Lucky Ali, and Victor Benjamin. Another AEW stable will be on the show. The Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta will be facing two Ring of Honor staples in Rep Titus and Tracy Williams. Castagnoli is currently the Ring of Honor World Champion and in his second title reign. Other matches include IWGP Tag Team Champion and one half of Aussie Open Kyle Fletcher versus New Japan Strong Star Tony Deppen, Ninja Mac clashing with Willie Mack, Anthony Henry facing AR Fox, Dutch and Vincent taking on Charlie Bravo and Sean Dean, and Robin Renegade will face Vert Vixen. So there you go, that's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash the like on the like button, be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.